So there was a bit of time lapse for you of us getting bump and grind out of the water and then Jane pressure washing it off. Interesting to see how the hull changes colour underneath the waterline to a grey rather than a black colour. Okay, let's have a little walk around with bump and grind, see how bad it is, how good it is. Starting on the starboard side at the rear here, got quite a lot of this greenery and there's not a lot of paint left there. The old anode bar wants chopping off. Anode looks alright, it's just this waterline, it's a bit rusty. Chine angle at the back is in good order. Just patches along the side where there's no paint left. Added at the front, starboard side, good order. Again, chine angle's okay down here, no problems at all. Old anode bar wants chopping off. Moving around to the port side front. Again, another anode bar that wants chopping off there. Chine angle looks lovely. Anode's okay. Got a bit of pitting going on here. More on this side than the other side. Not very deep. I know 1.2, 1.5 mil deep. I've got this rust here that wants this delamination knocking off. And again here. Just a lot more rust on this starboard side. That outlet looks very close to the waterline. Again with this outlet, this is all delaminated steel. Knock that off with a hammer. Move around to the rear. Chine angle looks good. Anode's okay. Old anode bar wants chopping off again there. Let's have a look at the rudder. Okay, so Liverpool boat setup where the rudder has come loose to the stock, and that's because of these bolts here. I think we'll have these bolts out and replace them, and quite often we put a little tack of weld on the top there just to hold the stock to the actual rudder blade. So that one's looking at. Rudder cup. It's serviceable, but it is quite badly worn. But again this week I still haven't got any of them. Propeller, Vita setup, running a 17 by 11. Doesn't appear to be any play in that at all. There's no nicks or chips out of the blade itself. So all in all, there's a bit of prep to be done on this thing, mainly around the waterline, and sort this rudder issue out, chop them anode bars off, and yeah, good to go. Hey. See how the bolts look like worn away. Put some new ones in there. Right, so putting just some old steel bolts back in because that's what it had before. I've lasted this thing 15 years, so I'm sure it lasts another 15 years. we'll do just to make sure is we'll put a rubber weld around here. It's easy to get operable, but just gives it that extra little bit of a chance. Right, anode bars removed on both sides at the front, and Pikey Jane just found a couple of pits there that might need a bit of attention for me with a welder. Looking a lot better down the side now it's been prepped. Found a couple more there, don't like the look of. Oh my lovely. That's a bit low to the waterline, that, isn't it? Not for us to question, my lovely. No. Right, carry on the good work. Round to the back here, so what you saw me doing was welding up these little bits here, which is where the rudder has been coming around and clanking into it. So new bolts are in, and we just put some weld down the bottom onto the shaft. Very rarely does anybody ever try to dismantle one of these things in the water. So you know, if it has to be took out to do the rudder cup, it's quite easy just to grind the weld off, and then the shaft will come off the actual rudder blade itself. So I'm not worried about that. Again, welded that one up this side and removed the anode bars. We'll see how we get on. It's only Monday. We'd like to try and get both sides of this thing prepped, but I think we might run out of hours. So there we have it, bump and grind, back in the water again. Unfortunately, we didn't get any footage of Jane doing the blacking. As I said at the beginning of the week, we were going to be pushed for time this week with the weather, and we have been. Jane's been able to get out and paint one side, and then we've had to wait for it to dry off and then paint the other side. But it's Thursday evening, late afternoon, and all's done. So yeah, busy week for Jane, not for me so much. And let's see what we get next week.